with Kimmi. I'm your host, Kimmi Nunnally, #1 notary educator. How's it going? How's it going? I have just wrapped up. I don't think I'm closed for today. Technically, I'm still open on paper on Google. But I just wrapped up what I hope is my last job for today. I've been running these notary streets, so I'm a little tired. I've been all over the place today. So that's what prompted this particular video I'm doing right now. I really want to emphasize the need for you to have witnesses. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to do a deep dive into that again. I've talked about it many times here, but I still see people not having witnesses. And I don't know why people don't believe that that's important to create a witness list when you're starting your business. So for those of you who may be brand new to the channel, I'm Kimmi. I am a notary educator. I train nationwide. Also have a mentorship program where we also teach you how to develop those skills as a notary, have a great foundation. As I always say, if you don't know your business, you have no business doing business, okay? So anyway, welcome to the channel. And again, today we're going to talk a little bit about witnesses, why they are so important, and why you need them and how you should pay them, and talk a little bit more about witnesses, because I had 3 jobs today. All 3 of them needed witnesses, all 3. So let's say hey to a few people. Welcome, Lisa. How you doing, Lisa? Lisa is actually assisting us with the chat now. If you don't know, she's a part of the mentorship program, and she's been doing so well that we were even able to ask her to assist us with our group chat now. So we're so appreciative to have her on our team, assisting in that capacity. Hopefully, as we continue to grow, we'll see what else she'll be doing, and other people. It's just been amazing to work with people that we know their stuff, and because I don't just give my work to anybody, like I've been saying my last couple of lives. So even helping you all, I don't just have anybody to help my team, help our mentees. So welcome, Lisa. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Lori W's in the house. Lori's always dropping gems over there too. She's part of mentorship. Cynthia's saying, what scanner do you recommend? We have a recommended list of everything, Cynthia, all notary supplies. We have an Epson, and we also have a Brothers. So check out the recommended supply list. Okay, it's completely free. It's very thorough, and you'll get an idea of what type of equipment we have, what we use. Okay, so the recommended supply list is at notaryeducatorsllc.com, and just click it and download it. It's completely free. A lot of free resources there. Just talked about that recently, and I don't think I mentioned the recommended supply list when I talked about the resources, but there are quite a few free resources. Okay. So let's get into what is a witness. Why do notaries need witnesses? So today, like I was saying, I had 3 jobs. My first one was a power of attorney / medical directive. So it was almost a trust estate package, almost, but it was missing a few pieces. But it still took us a little while to get through it because she just wanted to chit chat a little bit, and it was cool. We were fine. And for that particular job, I needed 2 witnesses, not just one. I needed 2. So for those 2, I used one of our mentees. Shout out. I won't say her name just in case for privacy reasons, but I used one of our mentees. I do try to respect people's privacy. And then the second one was my husband. So that particular signing needed 2. Okay. Now, so that was for one of my signings. My second and my third signing that I did today were both law modifications, and each of them only required 1 witness. So in my case, I was able to use Jeffrey, my husband. He's also a notary. Your witness does not have to be a notary, but I recommend that your witness be at least 18 years old. Now, per your handbook, they probably can be younger. Okay, per your handbooks. I'll push back on you to know what your state law says. But Kimmi law says 18 because that's when they can sign anything else. So I'm not using a 13-year-old to sign a document. I'm not. Now, if you choose to do that in your business, go for it, okay? But I don't recommend that. I wouldn't have a minor sign anything for me. And I wouldn't recommend you do that either. I just wouldn't. Because typically to be prosecuted, a person has to be 18 years old. Okay? So I want them to be a legal adult when they start witnessing documents. And that's a Kimmi law, okay? So some example of documents that require a witness. Let's talk about that a little bit. So a power of attorney, depending on what type, not all power of attorneys are created equal. That's the first thing we teach you in training. But you do need to make sure, so a power of attorney, sometimes a medical directive will require 2 witnesses. Now, the medical directive does not have to be notarized, but 90% of your clients will ask you to notarize that, okay? And that's going to be a state specific thing. But all of the ones I've ever seen throughout all of my years, they don't require it, but my clients want it notarized, okay? So that requires witnesses. Anything with a deed or property, usually depending on what state it is in, the property can require 1 or 2 witnesses, okay? So you really need to make sure that you're checking that document. You're asking your screening questions. We go over screening questions. I have it written in front of the journal here, okay? If you have not seen the journal collection, we'll come back to all that. So I want to make sure that you know what documents require the witness. Now, who do I use typically for my witnesses? Anybody that's 18 years or older. It doesn't have to be a fellow notary. In my case, because I have such a large pool of notaries I can pull from, I have our mentee group, our mentorship group. I also have our Notary Educators Facebook page that I can pull from. Okay. And then I have my own personal list of witnesses, people that are not connected to notary industry at all. I have an Uber driver that's a friend of the family, and he'll come and be a witness for me. I just did a signing for a a friend of the family rather. And he just said, hey, if you need a witness, I'll be one. Now, prior to losing my mom and my father-in-law, they served as witnesses for me all the time. Both of them, they be fighting. Who's going to be the witness? Okay, so it could be your husband, your boyfriend, your sister, anyone 18 years of age, your neighbor, if they don't mind. I have a lot of people who like don't mind making a little extra money. They don't. They don't. Okay. Now, why again are witnesses so important? Because again, all 3 of my jobs today required a witness. And if I did not have those witnesses, those documents did not move. And it's just as simple as that. There's no way around it. You can't say, let me put them on a telephone. Hey, can I do a Zoom call? No, they need to be right there in the room where it's happening, unless you're doing a remote online notary, okay? And for those of you who may not know, remote online notary is just that. It's done completely online remotely. You're in your house, they're in their house, and then everybody come together on the computer. So that's what a remote online notary is, okay? So just being clear though, again, I only use an 18-year-old, and it could be anybody that's 18. I don't care who you are. I've had situations where people will say, hey, especially if it's at a nursing home, well, I'll just get the staff to do it. You know, I'll get the nurse or I'll get the social worker. Sometimes they will sign as a witness, but a lot of times they will not. They will not, because it's a conflict of interest. You know, it could be. So a lot of times they will not. Sometimes you will find people will say, well, I'll use a family member. We don't tell them what to do, but we highly recommend that they don't. And I make it so strongly that I'll just use verbiage like, well, Mr. Smith, you wouldn't want to use your son, and then they send back the documents, because your son could eventually maybe benefit from your property. And by the time you kind of push back like that, they're typically okay with you finding a witness, or they find another witness on their own. Let's talk about, why would a client ask you to find a witness? Because sometimes your client, be it a signing company or a general notary job, will ask you, can you provide the witness? And a lot of signing companies now are very strategic. They're like, hey, we're going to hire this notary. We want the notary to put the whole thing together. They need to find the witness. They need to do A, B, C, and then we're going to pay them. And then out of that fee that they're paying you, you have to pay the witness, right? So that's why you got to really be careful before you accept an assignment, and make sure, hey, are they paying me enough to get paid what I want, plus to pay the witness? Because they can be very, we'll use the word creative instead of slick. Wink, wink. Okay. So, but yeah, because I've seen jobs come through like $50, and then the notary must provide the witness. Well, if I'm paying my witness $25 is usually the minimum. Okay. And then I'm only going to make 25. Let's do the math. That's not going to work for me. Right. So I usually will push back and counter and say, hey, I can provide the witness for you. That's not a problem, but I need to pay the witness additional, so I need to get more money from you, because most people aren't going to leave their home just because they like you. They want to make some money while they're doing it. Okay, let's just be clear. Hey, welcome everybody. I see we got a lot of people to the party on a Friday. What's up? So if I can get you all to please like the video. Okay, if you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit the button because you know I'll be dropping some gems. Okay. And while I have so many people in the room, let me ask you all. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, like and subscribe for me. Let me ask you all while I have you here. I'm thinking about doing a YouTube membership. Now, the membership will be different than mentorship. The membership will play some of the replays from our sessions that we have with the mentees. And I'll probably start with the older ones from our other sessions that we did, not the newer ones. But it'll be a new upload every week, and we cover such topics as Canva, Google My Business, you name it, we cover it. But it's a deep dive. And the reason I decided to do that because it'll offer a different price point for people instead of full-blown mentorship. Some people may already know a little bit about the notary business, and they just need to kind of clean it up, I like to say. And we would meet one time per month. It does not include like the chat. It doesn't include that. It would just be a straight up, I'm reading this note. It'll just be a straight up membership here on YouTube for a different, like I said, a different type of clientele. So you would have access to me once a month. We would have a meeting once a month via Zoom. That's a live meeting. You would have access to all the replays. You would also get a special discount code, 70% off the courses. So let me know if that's something you all would be interested in. I think it's going to come June 1st. And I'm really excited to roll it out. The last few times I've been live, people are like, yeah, I would love something like that. Because it, again, offers them a little access, but at a lower price point. And then as your business starts to grow, you start making more money or whatever, and you want to upgrade, you can always change and come over to the actual mentorship program. So it just gives people more access. God is Foundation. This is Carissa or Charissa Lauren says, my daughter just finished her course. Oh, thank you. I hope she enjoyed it. I hope she did. We've been getting some rave reviews about our mentorship program. Some people say, well, Kimmi, how can you afford to have the price so reasonable? I think of it more, and I talked about this when we first rolled out the mentorship program. And I always think about, I have a friend that's of the Latin community, and she's Latina. And they have a thing, and other cultures have it too. Africans have it, Jamaicans have it, where they have like a little kitty. And because everybody contributes a little bit to it, it makes it reasonable for everyone. You know, so that's kind of how the mentorship program works. And that is how it works. Not kind of, that is how it works. So I'm able to keep the cost down because everybody contribute a little bit can help us to get accomplished what we need to as notary educators, okay? And be able to provide the almost, it's not a 24-hour chat. The chat runs from whenever someone gets up, but at least usually by 9 o'clock it opens, and it closes around 11 is our last time comment. We keep it open a little bit longer for our West Coast people, our people on Pacific time, our people on Mountain time, a couple hours time difference, and they still are getting signings. So we're able to help them with their signings. If you have questions about the trainings as you're going through it. So Goddess Foundation says she did. She loves how you teach her. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. That is a very nice compliment. I mean, I really appreciate that. I really do. Mom, are you a notary too? Have you thought about it? I'm big on families trying to get that notary business going. Because sometimes if I can't go, I'll send Jeffrey. And my nephew was doing it for a while, but he's actually in school now, so he's not really pursuing it anymore. But I have my other niece. She's a notary, Alexis. She's one of our trainers, and she started the business with me. So she's been doing it now almost 4 or 5 years, as long as we've been doing it. So now she has her own full-blown notary business, and she's a trainer here. So I'm big on families trying to grow something together. I really am. And I'm seeing the importance of doing that. You know, even if you already have a full-time job, just to have something on the side, even for tax purposes now, people are really, if you watch some of the mentors that do business mentorship, they're like, everybody should have a home-based business. I don't care what it is, if it's losing money or whatever, because you can write so much stuff off on your taxes. So while we even have a tax course actually in the mentorship program, but while you're sometimes wondering, well, how is it that these people are able to get ahead over here and these people over here don't pay no taxes and This person only pays $750, because you got to know how to play the game. You have to know. And we're not taught that in school. We're not taught how to navigate real life. Okay? I'm just going to put it like that. We're not. So while we're learning over here this little bit, whatever people are, kind of dripping and giving us, the real gems, you got to kind of search for it. You got to keep looking for it. And I've taken time to really learn business. I've always loved business. I took business courses when I was in school, and I love business. I can tell you anything. I could take whatever kind of business you have. I can get you going in 10 minutes. That's just a gift that I have. I love it, right? And some of my business techniques are old fashioned, and I know that, but they work. And if you do it, you'll be successful. So yeah. So I love business. So mom is saying, I did watch some. I'm considering. Yeah, you guys can do it together. In the meantime, service her witness sometimes. So you can see, if she start getting her clientele together, you can kind of just get a behind the scenes look. And it's not for everybody to go out by themselves. Like, I just had a signing literally that I just left. And it was so funny. She was telling me about her dog. And the dog was kind of big. And I was like, y'all know how I am about dogs. And I said, I don't know if I want to even go in the house. So she assured me the dog was put up or whatever. And then there was another pet, because I have a terrible cat allergy, so I have to be cautious of cats. I've got a lot of issues. And all that being said, y'all, the way I feel about pets, I thought I had a journal here. I was gonna show you my journal with the animals. Oh, here it is. Hold on. Isn't this cute? If you have not seen the journal collection, look at that. Aren't they cute? Oh, I just love them. If you can't see it because you're listening to the podcast, check out the journal collection at notaryeducatorsllc.com. This is my number one seller. This and the purple. Let me show y'all. This and the purple. People love the purple. Okay. So check out the journals. Those are my two favorite. My number two sellers. And then this is my favorite and I think I still haven't decided which one I'm going to use. I still haven't decided, but I think it's going to be this one. And they all come in hardback or paperback. Okay. Hardback or paperback. And I just love them. So anyway, we ended up doing the signing at the car. And I tell you that because some people may be afraid of animals like myself. So if I can avoid going in homes, I do. And a lot of people during COVID, they were like, well, hey, I don't want to go in houses, but we were considered essential workers. So that's when I started my business during COVID. I don't consider myself a COVID notary because I actually took time to learn the business. So there's an expression out there, are you a COVID notary? No. I learned about the business during COVID, which was a pandemic, if you guys don't know. But I don't consider myself a COVID notary because I took time to learn my industry, to learn my business. I consider myself a notary professional, a notary educator, thus the term notary educators. So you know what I mean? So I don't consider myself a pandemic notary. And I think it's sometimes people being a little shady when they refer to you like that. But just because you learned about the business then, or even a pandemic entrepreneur is another term I hear quite a bit. Hey, welcome everybody. A pandemic entrepreneur. A lot of people started their business during the pandemic. I did too. I do, but I don't consider myself any less than because I was able to start my business during the pandemic versus somebody who started before. I mean, I think that's a little ridiculous, but to those people point that kind of highlight when you started may be an indication of what you know. I will agree with them that a lot of us, and I won't say us because well, you know what? I will say us. Because this business did kind of fall into my lap. For those of you who may be completely new and don't know my story, I do talk about it in my books. And I got one for every state. Start your notary business. It's not that complicated. I talk about in the book, though, how I found out about the notary business as a business. And it's one for every state. Don't forget. This is just a few I happen to have here. My sister was ill. And in the end of 2019, and I'm just visiting her, and somebody came by to visit her, one of her friends that she knew from high school. And it's so funny, I was just talking to her casually because I'm always just talking to people, and I love talking to people. So I have a friend that jokingly says I can get your social in 5 minutes because I just like talking to people, right? But I asked her casually, I said, hey, what are you doing for work? And she's like, I'm a notary. And I was like, a notary? I said, do they pay you for this? And she's like, yeah. She's like, I go to people's houses or they come to me. And I was like, really? So I came home, started doing my research. That was like October. I didn't start doing anything with it though until the following August. Actually, May, because I got to get ready to do my NNA certification. I'm getting alerts from all signing companies right now that I need to do my NNA certification. And that's like an ASAP. I'm like, they will not give you work if your credentials are not right. So I got to keep my piece of paper updated, right? So I have to do that. I still have not completed it yet. So anyway, and she told me what she was doing. So I came home and did my research, and that was like around October. Started working on it, but I got really nervous because in Georgia we got so many restrictions, et cetera, et cetera. And I couldn't find nobody to tell me what to do, how to do it. So once I did learn, I started. I lost my dad that March. I lost my sister in December. Lost my dad that March. So COVID happened. I had nothing else to do. So I took that time and learned the business. I learned all about it. I said I'm gonna crack the code, and I did because I couldn't, even with YouTube, I couldn't find the information I was looking for. So I feel that need when I started my channel. I said, I'm just gonna tell people what's up. I said some other people may not like it, but that's gonna be on them. I'm gonna help people the best that I can and tell them the truth. And I did, and I started doing it. And little did I know, people want the truth without the fluff. I'm not good at fluff. I'm pretty simple. And one day somebody told me that they were like, hey, you're kind of simple. And I took it as a dig. I was like, oh, you think I'm simple? You think I'm simple? And I realized that it was the biggest compliment because I'm uncomplicated. It's great. It's black, whatever. I ain't getting ready to figure it out with you and go through all this extra rigmarole. And my mom was like that too. So I'm very simple. So not simple minded, but I keep things uncomplicated. And I have a gift of being able to teach in a way that people can understand it. So somebody told me last week on one of the lives, it was like, yeah, Miss Kimmi got a program on Notaries for Dummies. I said, well, we ain't gonna say that, but not Notaries for Dummies, but we gonna keep it simple, okay? All right. So we got Pamela says, just getting into the groove. I'm in the mentorship. Have been getting my supplies. You are a great educator. Oh, thank you, Pamela. I appreciate that. And please continue. If you haven't come to any of the live meetings, please come to the live meetings, Miss Pamela, because that's going to really help you. I'm telling you, I find that those that come to the live meetings, in addition, even though you're preparing on the back end, it just really helps you to accelerate your business. Andrea is in the house. What's up, Andrea? Good to see you there. Andrea says notary who me simple LLO. Let me show you. Yes, we gonna keep things simple over here all the time, all the time. So what other questions do we have? I do want to tell you, so I think it's our session coming up on Tuesday or Wednesday this week. We're gonna go into, if I'm not mistaken, I gotta go back and look at it, and you can check it out too at Notary Educators LLC.com. The mentorship session this week is going to be about our notary journal. I'm sorry, not the journal, the handbook. And this is the new Georgia handbook. So I got a few days. I have to read this within a few days because we are going to talk about this. I just got this in the mail last week and I haven't looked at it yet, but there are a few changes in the handbook, and we're going to deep dive, not the whole handbook, but I'm going to have each person go through their state handbook and see were there any changes for this year, because in Georgia we have about 3. Okay, we have about 3 changes, so we are going to discuss them, and if anyone else has any for their state, we are going to. So this is the 14th edition. I've been a notary here for 5 years, 6 with this commission or whatever. And this is my second handbook. So the handbook sometimes will change. I don't buy it every year if it's not a major change, but this year we had 3 changes. So I bought the handbook, and I'm going to actually reread this one, highlight it, because my other one is highlighted and all ready for me. So anyway, that's another story, but I'm going to look at it. All right, so what else we got going on? Been to one strain to get the dates. Oh, maybe trying to get the dates. Pamela, every week I send out the schedule, Every month it's posted also in Kajabi, which is what we use for our platform, our training platform. So you can see the weekly sessions. In the weekly sessions, there is a calendar there. Always at Notary Educators, you can go right there and see it. Also on the home page, it's always right there every month, fresh for you to look at. So what I recommend people do so you don't miss anything is go to Notary Educators. And again, I do send it out, but or go right to your Kajabi. It's the third drop down, I think, about the calendar. So look at that and see the Zoom link for the week, which I'm getting ready to update that. It's usually updated every Sunday. And then also the calendar for the month is included within that. So all you got to do is click it. And then I always recommend go to your calendar on your phone and put in like, okay, so this week is Sunday at 7, next week is Tuesday, next week is Wednesday. So it's not the same day every week so more people can participate. So we try to rotate the days out. Okay, so it's not every Tuesday at 12 or anything like that. All right. Trakita says, yes, I just seen your short on that and I asked the question. Yes, I'm looking for mine here in Tennessee because unless I'm missing something, it was just a downloadable version that was not much information. Yes, I saw your question, Trakita. I did. I just haven't had time to answer my YouTube comments yet. I'm going to. That's on my list of things to do. I always give priority to my mentorship, and then it will be also our membership once we start here on the channel. Because I get comments coming in from YouTube, Instagram. Now this ain't no excuse. I'm just telling you facts. I get comments coming in from YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. So it's a lot to try to keep up with answering everybody. So I kind of have to prioritize it, just like you will in your business. This is most important. Not that anybody is not important, but you just got to prioritize. So for me right now, my mentorship is everything. Those people know we answer within 2 seconds. If it's 10 minutes, it's like, what's the problem? Why ain't somebody answering? So that's priority. So someone asked me earlier on Instagram, do you help notaries? I'm like, yeah, we do via our mentorship program. So that takes priority over everything. My mentorship program is 5 stars. We don't play about that. My notary business, None Better, is 5 stars. I don't play about that. So everything else is important to me because if you don't watch me on YouTube and I don't answer that question, then we got a problem here too, right? But I just got to kind of prioritize it. So to answer your question live for you though, I read that in a lot of states, to your point, Trakita, they don't have any information. So Tennessee is one of those states that you have like a little download about 4 or 5 pages. It don't have anything in it. That's why a lot of stuff is open to interpretation, and that's why you probably need to be in mentorship, because where the states fall short is where we come in to help you based on best practice, based on experience, to know what to do or what to even think about, how to process it. So I highly recommend, if you're not a part of mentorship, to think about. I've seen your name before, Trakita. Yeah, so our handbook is pretty thorough. It's all nice and bright and with the print and stuff. This is really nice this year. So it's about the same. It's 120 pages. They got a few note pages in there too. So our handbook is pretty intense. Okay, I even see a little quiz in the front of it this year. But all handbooks are not created equal, and that's why you need mentorship. And you asked about the primer, the NNA primer. The NNA primer is an offshoot of your state handbook. So, for example, your state handbook may say one thing, but the primer is going to try to take it and break it down a little bit more for you. So, as I always say, the primer is good to have, right? Because I have one just because I'm an educator and I wanted to see what the primer was. Everybody kept asking me about it. But your state handbook, laws, whatever they give you, 5 pages, 3 pages, 2 pages. Some states have a 1-page thingy, okay, about the laws. That supersedes everything, okay? I don't care what the primer says, okay? Sorry, I got some cranberry apple cider vinegar here I'm drinking. So that supersedes everything. So you can get the primer, okay? It might add a little bit more to it, but you don't really need the primer. You know, if you want to get it, like I said, I got it. It was only $20. It's an investment. Write it off on your taxes. But again, it's not really necessary. So that's why I would really recommend mentorship, okay? Pamela says, thanks. Lori W says, I wish we had a real handbook in Illinois. We only have a website that I believe is written in 5.5. She said the font is 5 point and not very user friendly. That is so funny, Lori. Right. So you see what I mean? But Lori is out there handling her business. Lori know how to do that notary. Okay. Lori's in mentorship, so she's learned how to even reason and think it out. Even it don't have to be in a handbook because she knows what to do, right? And that's what we pride ourselves on. That's why I can teach notaries in all 50 states. You do not have to be in Georgia because a lot of people say, well, Kimmi, I'm not in Georgia. It doesn't matter. In mentorship, we got people from Arizona, Nevada, California, Illinois, North Carolina, you name it, Michigan. We got all states, because if you know how to be a great notary, you will know this. All of your documents do not originate in your state. And that's how we're able to teach everybody. And a lot of trainers, I'm going to just say this, they don't want to take that on because they're like, well, how do you teach everybody in every state? You got to know how to be a teacher. Everyone that says they can teach is not a teacher. Okay. And just because you have a piece of paper don't mean you can teach either. The proof is in the pudding, right? That's what they say. So I don't have to be a master chef like on what's my boy name? Ramsey. What's it? Gordon Ramsay. I went to two of his places, y'all. Now me and Gordon got a thing because I watch Master Chef like crazy, but I wasn't impressed. At the one in Las Vegas, I'll be honest, I loved what I had like a short rib or something. But what he's famous for, the little beef Wellington, they wouldn't cook it well done for me, so I didn't get it. I don't eat rare meat. I don't eat rare meat. So my point in mentioning him is he's a master chef. But just because he has that title and all of that, you got some people that can cook better than him, right? All right. Chiquita says, understood. LL says, oh my, Kimmi, I just looked on Amazon and North Carolina has an updated handbook. So I wouldn't recommend buying my handbook for my state from Amazon. LL, you're funny too. I'm glad you realized they got an updated handbook, right? Because how would you know if you wasn't looking for it? So yeah, that's important too. Make sure you have your updated, most current handbook. See, this is the kind of thing that you don't learn anywhere else. Okay, I educate you. We educate over here. So LL, I'm going to tell you to go to your website because I want to make sure you're getting an authentic copy of your handbook. Because on Amazon, you will find people that have created their handbook. Okay, they've taken North Carolina and they call it a handbook to sell it, and it may not be authentic. So I cannot buy the Georgia handbook on Amazon. I had to go to the Georgia website. So I'm going to recommend you make sure you're buying an authentic North Carolina handbook. Okay, and I don't even think you have to buy it. I think you can download, if I'm not mistaken. I'm coming. Come on, Chiquita. Come on. She also says, I appreciate you. And I'm coming to mentorship the 3rd and the 4th quarter. I need to be rolling. Yes, come on, join us now. Lori says, yep, yeah. Masada says, hey, Kimmi, what's up, Masada? Hi, Dawn. Pennsylvania's in the house. Cheese steak, Philly. That's what comes to my mind whenever I can hear Pennsylvania or mountains. Never been to the Poconos. I would love to go, though. Never been to the Poconos. Have you been to the Poconos? Just curious. That is like a mountainous area, I believe. I'm going to say mountainous because that's what comes to my mind. I've never been there. I have a family member that used to go every year. She lives in Pennsylvania. We've lost her since. Lori W., thank you for the shout out. She says, Kimmi teaches you to think on your feet. You need to be able to reason yourself through situations. Once you have the foundation, you can do this. Yep. And a lot of times, some people may not like my teaching method. They're like, just tell me the answer. How much? What should I do? No, it takes longer for me to actually educate you and teach you what to do versus just telling you what to do. It's nothing for me to just type in there, girl, go do this. No, I have to teach you how to do it. I have to teach you how to do it. And I have the patience of Job, okay? Now, I go there sometimes. I'm like, okay, really? And ask Jeffrey. He'll tell you she ain't as patient as she seems on YouTube, which I am. I'm pretty patient. By the time I'm even with him, I'm like, rah. But I'm pretty patient. But I say all that to say, that I do take time to teach you. And I sometimes somebody asks a question that I think they should know. I'm like, I got all day, let's do it. And sometimes I don't have all day because I'm working too. I'm a real notary. One of my people that came out today, I told her, she said it's nice to see somebody actually doing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm a real notary. I didn't just learn about notary and start a YouTube channel. I'm a real working notary. So today I had 3 jobs. And it's a lot of people right now with all these little challenges going on. And there's nothing wrong with them, but I just don't do them. I just don't feel I have to show you how much money I make. I don't ask you how much money you make. I don't even think that for safety reasons, we're not going to do that. We're not. I don't put my members on blast, how much they're making. I think that's private. I just do. You can tell people are successful by what they do. It's not necessary for me to show you my bank checks or for you to show me yours or to show other students. You can tell right here in the comments that people are learning what they need to learn and doing what they need to execute these documents and get it completed. So I think that's good for YouTube. I do. I don't, again, I see anything wrong with it if that's what you want to share. Because again, I don't mind sharing a little bit more than my husband. He's like, no. If you notice, I've been doing a whole lot more videos, just kind of loosey goosey, dancing and music and all that. That's what people want. I don't mind doing it. I'm not that shy. So I'm like, bring it. Let's do it. But he's not that person. So he's like, I am not letting people see me eat a hamburger. I'm not letting people see me get my coffee or, for him, that's just not his thing. So everybody's different. So where I might not mind sharing that, he's like, so somebody else may not mind sharing their money or whatever they're doing, and that's all good. But I'm just not going to put my members on blast. And again, I don't feel like, I know I'm not going to tell you all that about me. We cool, but we ain't that cool. All right. LL says, got you. Masada says, how can I 10 times my notary business? I just got my certification and went through all the classes and courses through the National Notary Association, but I'm not getting any appointments. You probably need some mentorship, Masada. You need to know what to do. And I would even challenge you on making sure you know your proper notarial duties. Even though I've been through the NNA's classes, I have my NNA certification, I had to self-teach myself the main stuff that I need to know. So if you feel 100% confident in your notarial duties, then I believe that's when you can see your business to grow. How's your Google page? Is your Google page maximized? Do you have a website? Okay. Is your website fully maximized? Is your profiles with the NNA completely maximized? Who are you signing up with for signing companies? All these things we go over mentorship. You can find it here on my channel. I've talked about all this stuff for free. So you can feel free to just play around with the channel. There's over 1,000 videos here. But if you really want to deep dive, get serious, let's get to it. Let's get it over. Let's get it done. Mentorship is going to be the way to go. And I guarantee you can probably benefit from the mentorship with the courses too, not just the mentorship piece. And that's the best thing about our mentorship program. I'm going to get your comment, Don, but let me tell you a little bit about the mentorship program. At the time of this recording, it's only $47 per month. And it includes all 16 of the major courses that we have, unlimited access to everything. Also, you can see all of the replays of the previous sessions that we've had. And that's where you get the gems, the deep dive. So you watch the courses. This is how the mentorship program works. You watch the courses, you get the information up here. We come in there and refine it for you by means of the weekly sessions that are live. If you have questions while you're going through mentorship, you drop it in a private chat that we have. Again, we're Johnny on the spot answering those questions. If it's something I think you should go back and read and look at it again, I will tell you to do that. Or I'll ask, have you looked at it? Sometimes people are so excited and they're asking questions. I know they haven't watched the videos. So the videos are very short. It's not a lot of fluff. It ain't no module after module after module. You get what you need to get going. And then we come in and fill in the rest of it. Like I was saying, that could be via the chat. Sometimes we may have to call you. I'll say, hey, do you mind if I give you a call right quick? So we're not just sitting around answering calls all day, but we want to make sure you're learning the business. And then again, as you're stuck and need us to fill in for you, we got you. If you're stuck on an assignment, we got you. If it's something we don't know regarding your particular assignment, we're going to push back and have you call whoever gave it to you, but we're still with you to the end and make sure it's completed correctly, okay? Dawn says, beautiful. I think she's referring to the journals. Hey, Portia. I'm here to learn. Welcome, Portia. Welcome. Masada says she's in Georgia also. Okay, cool. Cool. And sometimes, again, since you're right here in Georgia, one of the perks is we can, share business that happens in the chat. But not only in Georgia, people who live near each other can help each other. So the chat, like I said, we cover all. Not we don't have someone from all 50 states, but we service, of course, all 50 and teaching you. Okay, LL says, okay, Kimmi, here's my question. I have attended a few classes, but have not done any of what I have been exposed to. What would be my first steps? Again, I can't speak to that because I just need to kind of know where you are. And I guarantee you, whatever, if you've not trained with us, and this is no shade to anybody else's training, if you've not trained with us from the beginning, I don't know what you've learned. I don't. We've taken in our courses, we take you from acknowledgments to giraffes, estate packages, like literally how to do these things. So if you're not have not been trained on estate packages, trust packages, basic notarizations, administering an oath, how to fill out a giraffe acknowledgement, all that, you need to start at the beginning. I know whatever you've taken is you probably think is enough, but if you've not trained with us, kind of tricky to go in there behind the scenes. Like you go buy a Honda, right? You go buy a Honda car, and you took your car over to a Ford dealer, and the Ford, he did the best he could to try to put some parts in there for you, but you should have took it to the Honda dealer, right? And the older I get, I realize that I don't take my car to just anybody. I do not. A lot of people do shade tree mechanics and all that, and I got you. Sometimes the funds just don't be right? But I'd rather save my money and go to the correct dealer or wherever I need to go. Hey, everybody, welcome. I see we got a lot of new people joining us. What's up? Yeah, so, but like I said, if you got a Honda, take your car to the Honda dealer. Don't take it to the Ford dealer. Now, the only exception with that is if you got a Toyota. My sister drives a Lexus, so she'll take her car to Toyota sometimes. But make sure you got the same manufacturer, because sometimes you're trying to put something in there and it don't work. Or aftermarket parts. I don't know if you've ever tried that before. We did that several times. We put aftermarket parts in our vehicles, and it just didn't fit right. So that's kind of like you asking me, I did this training, that training. And not that those are aftermarket parts, but I just can't speak to what you know. You said I've taken training. Well, I don't know what that looks like. So, okay. Masada said, I love for you to be my mentor. Okay, got to go through the program. Yeah, I mean, probably. And it's not like you got to be there for the rest of your life. Yeah, everybody. So we got 17 people here live, coming in and coming out. Hit the like button for me and subscribe if you are not. Thanks. Lori be reminding me, girl. Thank you, Lori. Yeah, Masada. So I really would recommend it. I'm glad you understand what I'm trying to say. So New Life Praise and Worship just says hello. Hey, welcome. So I think our next session is either Tuesday or Wednesday. I just don't have it in front of me, but the schedule will be going out Sunday, and it is on Notary Educators LLC.com. And every session you will learn something. We do a deep dive into a topic, about 15-20 minutes, and then the rest of the time is open for growing our businesses, whatever that looks like for you. And a lot of times some people are shyer than others, so squeaky wheel gets the oil. So some people ask every question, some people don't ask any, but you're still able to learn. And that's why we like the way we do our chat. Each one teach one. So instead of you calling me, hey, Kimmi, which I don't have time for that anyway. Hey, Kimmi, what about? No, drop it in the chat. And as you're asking your question, somebody else asking the same question. So that's been working. We really found the success to have a mentorship program that really benefits people. And we're just so excited by it. It's growing. And that's how we know we're doing the right thing. That's how we know the feedback. So you got to listen to your client in your notary business too. In my notary business, I'm looking at this. I have on my work shirt today, none better, because I've been working. None better, right? So I know based on my reviews what none better is doing. If my reviews were whack, then that's going to let me know, hey, something's not right. Your clients aren't happy. So same thing with mentorship. People come, they stay, they're learning, they're growing. Their businesses are thriving, to the extent that they wanted to. Some people work full-time, some people work part-time. Some people are just doing it in the evening. Some people are just doing it on the weekend. So whatever they're wanting from the business, though, that's what they're getting from the business. Whatever they're putting into it, that's what they're receiving. So we're not going to say you miraculously get clients because you sign up with Notary Educators Mentorship Program. Someone asked me recently, they were like, hey, do you have a list of signing companies? Yeah, I can give you some signing companies. But that's not what you need. You probably need to learn what you're doing first and then go start signing up with signing companies. So I don't believe in just taking shortcuts. There are none. There aren't any. If I don't teach you how to do it the correct way, if you don't learn how to do it the correct way, your business is it's gonna show. It's gonna show. My husband always said, if it don't get you in a wash, it'll get you in a rinse. His dad used to tell him that. And I was like, when he first told me that, I was like, what you mean? And I know how to wash, not perfectly. But I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, whatever didn't come out here is going to come out somewhere else. So if you try to take shortcuts and you in Facebook, and I got people trying to learn it Instagram, and they ask me a question. They're at a signing now. You at a signing and you asking me Instagram, and I'm like, you need training, hon. I can't help you right now. I stopped a couple years ago trying to teach people in Facebook and teach them in Instagram, on Instagram or TikTok. I would be like, send me a copy of it. I can't do that no more. Because I realized I'm not even helping you. I'm not. When I first started, trying to help people out. But I realized, and especially once we started the program, I was like, no more excuses. No more excuses. Either we going to do the darn thing or we not. Okay? And it's just as simple as that. Either you're ready to really take the bull by the horns and learn this business and have a productive business with a great foundation, or you're not. We not half-stepping no more. Ain't no half-stepping. Let me not say, because I don't want to get no copyright strike. But ain't no half-stepping over here. Either you're going to do it or you're not. What they say, get off the pot or boop, boop, boop. Okay? That's it. That's it. So no more excuses. No more excuses. So again, I'm proud of our mentorship program. I know that the mentorship program is working, and there's no reason for you to be afraid. When you get ready to leave, you just leave. You don't have to call me. You don't have to email me. You can just leave. Okay? Just click the same button that you signed up with. Well, you have to go into your account and then just click your little face up there, avatar, go to settings, and just unsubscribe or whatever the options are payment wise. So you're not stuck. I don't make you prepay for a year because I don't even want you here for a year. If you don't want to be here for a year, I want you to be here for a year, right? I don't want to obligate you where you're not going to get your money back. I don't have time to play games like that. Okay. So it's month to month. I don't even offer a 3-month discount, 4-month discount. No, I want you to think about what you want to do. If you want to stay this month, fine. Some people leave and come back. I have so many that do that. To each his own. Whatever you want to do, we're going to be here, God willing. We pray every day for our continued success and to be able to continue to help the people. But you do whatever it is you want to do, so you're not stuck. And you don't have to feel any pressure. Well, Kimmy's going to be mad. I'm not mad, because I know when you really get ready, you'll be back. I'm not mad. I don't get mad about it. But again, you don't have to email me. You don't have to write me. You don't have to feel bad. Circumstances change. I've had that happen before. People love the program, but right now you just can't afford it, and that's okay. And that's why we're coming up with a smaller entry point to eventually with the membership here on YouTube. But yeah, that's what I really recommend. So that way, at least you can start getting your feet wet, start getting some information, and then when you're ready, you can buy your course if you decide to go that way. Because some people just prefer to own their course. If you do, you can purchase them at 60% off without the membership. It hasn't started yet. The coupon code is WIN2025, WIN2025 at notaryeducatorsllc.com. So what else do we have? I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Let's see. New Life Praise and Worship says, thank you so very much for all you do. It is my pleasure. It really is. And I want to see everybody win. That's why when we came up with our mentorship program, it took 3 years. It took 3 years for us to come up with a mentorship program. People were asking me almost from day one, can you be my mentor? Can you be my mentor? I'm like, we don't offer mentorship. We don't offer mentorship. And that was my statement. We do not offer mentorship. And then about 2 years ago, almost now, about 2 years, almost, it'll be 2. Wait a minute. No, we started March last year. So we're into May. So I'm sorry, about 1.5 years. we've been doing mentorship. About a year, almost a half. Jeff always said my math don't math. But anyway, and it's been working because we found the secret sauce. The secret sauce is we got to teach you what to do. We have to teach you what to do, and then we can come in there and help you. We can't help you with mentorship and you don't know what to do. We just can't. We just can't. Nor do you even want to learn like that. Most people. Now you got a few people that's like, just tell me, just tell me, just tell me. Not going to happen over here. I'm going to teach you. I'm going to educate you. Now, if you're interested in notary education, and it's not hard, it's not complicated, because you know I ain't doing that. We ain't pulling out no encyclopedias and all that. Now we are going to pull out this handbook. If you're not watching, I got this handbook in my hand. We are going to pull out this handbook next week. Okay. But we're going to pull out that. But other than the handbook, and my Start Your Notary Business book, bam. You know, we're not doing all that because I'm not trying to stall the program, stall the process. I want you to rock and roll. And as you're rocking and rolling, and you get in my comments like you heard today and be like, oh, it's a great program. Go Kimmi. Yes. Notary educators, Alexis, Lisa, Jeffrey. Yes. Worry, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't gonna take your $47 and you never see us again. That's not how we roll. Now, how often you'll be seeing me, I don't know. Because when I start the membership program, that's how I'm going to focus on YouTube too. So I'll still be dropping videos. I'll still be going live. But the deep dive will happen over there because now those people are part of mentorship or membership, whichever one you choose. It's going to be able to help you to get a deeper foundation, get roots. Okay, that'll give you two options to get rooted. Pamela says, I got the book from my state. Cool. So that's going to help you, Pamela, to get a good overview of the program of being a notary. What's your options? What can you do? What services you can offer? How we make money. Okay. Very good. Very good. And what are your thoughts while I have you all here about the YouTube membership program? What's your thoughts on that? I'm thinking of a price point of either $14.97 to $17. I know $14.97 sounds good. Hey, oh, good, Masada. Very good. We're looking forward to helping you however that looks. Hey, welcome everybody. What do you think about $14.97 to $17 for the membership program here on YouTube when that rolls out? I know like I said, $14.97 probably is a better price point, but I'm thinking $17 for the longevity of it because I want it to succeed. I don't want to start it and then stop it because it's not going to be profitable because I don't make all the money. YouTube, this is just extra information if you ever want to start your own channel. YouTube takes a percentage of everything. So we got to make it where if I have to pay Alexis to come on and do a session, if I have to pay Lisa to come on, it has to be, or Jeffrey, whatever. I don't know what the program, because you know I don't do nothing half stepping, right, or shady or just whack. So I want to make sure the program is successful, and I'm thinking for it to run the way I want it to run, it's probably going to look like that $17 price point. 17. So again, I'm still looking into it. I'm still researching it, and my goal is hopefully by June 1st. Can you guys give me a little feedback? What do you think about the YouTube membership? Let me see what you think. Which price point? Masada says, sounds good to me. Would you be willing to pay $17 a month for, again, weekly uploads of real information in addition to what's already here on the channel, but like behind the scenes deep dive, and then 1 monthly Zoom? And that would not come with like the live chat feature that would be part of the mentorship program. But again, I'm really just trying to give those of you who are really trying to get started a way for us to have live communication. The replays will be available too, plus the discount code. Because you may say, well, I'm not ready for apostilles. I'm not ready for remote online notary. So I don't need all of that. So you're not ready for mentorship. Lisa says, it is worth it. Hold on one second. Lisa says, it is worth a try for those who can't get on the other mentorship. Sounds good to me. Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm thinking, Lisa. Again, it just gives everybody a nice opportunity to get in the program some kind of way, to get some access. Because again, and like for someone earlier that mentioned they already have some training, I think it was LL, they say they have some training. So if they have some training and then they're watching the replays and maybe buy a course or so, that program would be excellent for them, because now we're just coming in again, kind of straighten it all up for them. And some people might need a little bit more. So we'll continue to develop the idea. Again, I'm hoping to roll something out June 1st. New Life says they wouldn't have a problem with the 17 price point. Devon, hey there, welcome. And thank you, New Life, for your contribution there. I appreciate it. Of your topic. Oh yeah, you get badges. So if we are live, I'll be able to see who's actually part of membership, and it'll push your questions up to the top too, I think. Or some kind of way I'll be able to know that you're in mentorship. But I answer everybody's questions, so I don't try to bribe you with that kind of stuff. But just so you know, you will get a little special badge, and I'll know you're in membership, and then that'll make me go, okay, let me make sure I get Susie, or let me make sure I get Bob, or whatever. All right. Devon says best price for education. Yeah, I think so too. And that's another reason why I was telling Jeffrey, I said when I roll it out, I don't want it to be where I put it out and then I want to take it and just cancel it because I'm like, I don't feel like we're benefiting from it. So it's still a business at the end of the day. I want you to win. But again, YouTube takes such a large percentage of everything that you got to make it worth our while in order, and for you and for me. And I want to show up 100%, and I'm doing that for free. So you can only imagine what we do when, it's a paid product. We always over deliver. What is it? Underestimate and over deliver, something like that. Whatever. That's what we do. So we always gonna give you more. So you'll never have to worry. Oh, am I getting? No, you never getting ripped off. You are never getting ripped off. Believe me. So we got a few more minutes. Any last minute questions? Any last minute questions, comments about the program, the mentorship program, membership program, the journals, books? Any questions? Last chance for questions. What else do we have? And the day of the week will change for our monthly session on YouTube because, again, I want to make sure everybody gets a chance. And there will be bonus sessions in there too. So I just want to be committing to weekly sessions for the YouTube membership because, if I'm going live here for free, I'm going to take care of my other people, right? So, but I just can't commit to weekly because weekly is dedicated for our actual mentor program. Yep. All right. Well, guys, I'm going to head out. But as always, I'm wishing you much success in your notary business, on your journey, whatever that looks like. We would love to be a part of it. All things notary. Check out notaryeducatorsllc.com. And until next time, again, this is Notary Educators with Kimmi. Bye.